How long does it take to become an entrepreneur? So welcome back. Now in this episode, I'm going to discuss your question, how long does it take to become an entrepreneur? My name is Ted Thomas, and for the last 30 years, I've been involved in a home-based business. And I'm going to show you how I became an entrepreneur, and you can do the same thing. Now, I notice everyone gives advice on how to become entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's online, sometimes it's offline. I see there's blogs on doing it, there's videos, there's podcasts, lots of ways to learn how to be an entrepreneur. Now, for sure, keeping up with all these different ways to do it is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to kind of narrowcast all that for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few challenges that'll be relatively easy, but this will be pretty practical stuff. Because daily we're kind of overloaded with information, whether it's from the internet or the newspaper or the radio or the television or whatever. So this is going to be pretty practical information. I've been doing this for about 30 years, and I've done it from home, and I have lots of ideas which I'll share with you, which you won't find are difficult, but they're all going to be practical, and I know that's what you want. So my advice is just going to be from the world of actually doing things. Okay, so if you want to be an entrepreneur, step number one is you need to create a business that's going to help other people. That's step number one. Now, step number two is your business is going to have to create a product or a service that's going to solve problems. So number one, you're going to help other people, and you're going to create a product that's going to solve problems for people. That's going to entail a business. Now all you have to do is figure out how to market that product and how to generate revenue. So obviously you don't want to create things that people don't want to buy. If they want to buy it, well, then you can be an entrepreneur, you can sell them stuff. All right, so the major cost of doing business is going to be the distribution and the marketing, and you're not going to find a lot of information about that. I'm going to assure you of that. So you can learn how to sell, which most people kind of resist, but if you're going to be an entrepreneur, the best salesman for your product is going to be you, or if you're a female, it's going to be you too. It's going to be the person that creates the product. Okay, so can you become an entrepreneur? Yes, that's going to be relatively easy. How long is it going to take you? Well, that's the question I'm answering today. How long does it take to become an entrepreneur? You can do it overnight if you can manufacture a product, a problem-solving product. If you don't have that, it's not going to happen very quickly. So traditional advice from academia is start out with a business plan. Well, I'm not negative on business plans. However, try and find a business plan that'll tell you how to sell something. That's going to be kind of difficult. All right, so most business plans are nice typewritten pages like I'm holding up. All right, they look good. They make you feel good because there's maybe 25, 50, or even 100 pages. Well, folks, it's not going to do any good to copy someone else's template. Hundreds of pages in a business plan is not what's going to make you successful. Folks, what's going to make you successful is that the person can buy a problem-solving product from you or a service, and you can make a profit doing it. All right, now that's going to require that you know something and not blunder your way around trying to distribute or sell the product. So lots of people concentrate on manufacturing. They get very good at tech. They get very good at figuring out how to get everybody in their business working. What you need to figure out is distribution, sales, and marketing. So if you're going to become an entrepreneur, the strongest thing that you can do is be a marketer. Why? Because if you're going to have a product, you've got to get it sold, because that revenue is what's going to grow the business and what's going to keep the business alive. All right, now professors are great at writing business plans. How about writers? They're good at making business plans. So it's going to look beautiful. It's a nice typewritten thing. You're going to feel proud of it when you carry it around in your hand, because those wordsmiths put all that together. So I want you to look through that business plan and learn a lot from the business plan and be able to execute the business plan. But you're going to find that the weakest point in almost every business plan, or every one that I've ever seen, is it says nothing about marketing, nothing about distribution, or maybe a little bit about distribution, but it doesn't tell you how to sell anything. Folks, if you can't sell and you can't market that product, you don't have one. If there's no sales, that means the business is going to fail. So give that a lot of thought. So having a problem-solving product means that you're market-driven. If you're market-driven, You need to distribute into that market. You need to sell in that market. So you have to have something people want to buy from you. So they're going to want to buy your problem-solving product, but they don't know about it. So how are they ever going to do it? So you're going to have a problem-solving product, and you're going to have distribution, and you're going to have to understand how to sell it. Most people go into business, they have no idea on how to sell their product. Now, am I negative on business plans? No. But who are they created by? Generally, people are copying a template, which you don't want to do, all right? That was put together by a writer or a professor or a teacher. Have they been in business? Do they know anything about marketing and sales? Probably not. And you know how you can find out? Just get a bunch of templates, look at them, and see how much you can find in there about marketing and sales. Marketing and sales is the lifeblood. It's the heartbeat of that business. Now, entrepreneurs have massively high failure rates, 80%, 90% failure rates. Why? Because they don't concentrate on revenue. Where does revenue come from? Revenue comes from marketing and understanding how to sell, not from business plans, not from manufacturing, not from being good at being able to staff the business. Okay, people want to know about your problem-solving product. How are they going to know about it? Because you've got a distribution and sales system. All right, so sales are going to be important if you're going to be an entrepreneur. All right, I know you want to found that business. I know you want to run it right. I know you want to manufacture it. I know you want to create a problem-solving product. But where you're going to fall down is you don't understand distribution, marketing, and the sales part of it. So let's take you to some people that do know about that. What did Stephen Jobs do? He stood there with a black T-shirt on, and he conducted the meeting. Why did he do that? Because he wanted to sell something. Why did Bill Gates do the same thing? He went to IBM and got them to carry his software. That changed the world and created Microsoft. What does Elon Musk do? They're out there all the time. They're in the marketplace. You know who they are because they understand distribution, marketing, and sales. People would love to buy from the creator. If you create something, people would like to buy from you. So ask yourself, who do you want to teach you? Do you want the business plan to teach you? Do you want a professor to teach you? Or do you want someone that's got experience? Everything changed for me when I started asking successful people what enabled them to become successful. What enabled them to have more money and create more money? When I asked them that question, then they answered, I listened to that advice. And when I worked on that advice, and I listened and I worked at it, guess what? It usually worked. Successful people are successful for a reason. Successful people are the best place to get help. Not from a book, not from a business plan. Simple point is, some people are doing better. Why are they doing better? Because they're just doing more things right than the other people are doing. It's as simple as that. Now, most successful people are doing what? They're concentrating on solving other people's problems. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not going to take you long. Come up with a problem-solving product in your business. You won't have to do that any more than once, and you will see if you have a problem-solving product, you're off to the races. Many entrepreneurs start out, they don't concentrate, they don't focus on one thing. That's what you need to do. Focus on one thing and do it again and again and again. All right, now I found a business a number of years ago, 30 years ago, that was perfect for me. Why? Because I could see I could make money right away. And it was a subset of real estate. So it was honorable and ethical. However, most people didn't understand it. But when I found out I could buy for pennies on the dollar, that changed the whole world for me, because I knew if I could buy for pennies, I could certainly sell under the market and make money. So I could make money right away. So now I had a problem-solving product. I had a product that I could sell to all the bargain hunters and the credit challenge people of the world, because I could sell a property under the market because I could buy it so cheap. And that business had been around for 200 years, and I never even noticed it. But when I finally found out, I realized I could find used and abused properties for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar with no mortgage. Was that a great business? Yes. Was it glamorous? No. Was it sophisticated? No. But there was abundance. There was plenty of it. All right, I'm going to tell you more about that on subsequent videos. If you get in the business, you're going to need education. So right below me, I have a free gift that will help you get started. Right below me, there's a free gift. I'm Ted Thomas.